Thank you. Thank you so much, Vatsal. I completely agree. There is an immense potential, and needless to say that the stakeholders on both the sides are working towards it. So thank you so much for your time, Vatsal. Thank you for your question, Aditya. Now is the time to move on to our next speaker, Ms. Juliane Frömmter. She is the Program Director of Next Step India, German Accelerator. Next Step India program is supporting German startups to enter the Indian market. Before this, Juliane had spent 3 years as Director International Programs with one of India's most prestigious eco-building system organizations called KeyHub. And is therefore has been an integral part of Indo-German innovation and startup ecosystem. She holds an executive MBA from Hult International School, Business School, and has lived and studied and worked in Germany, Ireland, Great Britain, Switzerland, and India. Juliane, we are keen to listen to you now.
Yeah, good morning, Pallavi. Good to see you, and thanks for having me today. Thanks for the sweet introduction. I'm really pleased to be here with you this morning. Let me just share my screen really quickly. Can you help me understand what you can see right now, Pallavi?
I can see your screen. I can see the presentation very well.
Is this a presenter view or like the presentation? Like just a... Is it better?
Just give it few seconds. It takes a little time. Yes, perfect.
All right, then let's start. So I was asked to speak about the topic digitization in Germany and its export potential for India. As you've heard, I work with the German Accelerator, and we do help German startups to internationalize globally. And my work specifically pertains to India. And maybe a little bit of background about myself beyond what Pallavi already shared. I think what really emulates my work is this quote from Virginia Rometty: "I learned to always take on things I'd never done before. Growth and comfort do not coexist." And while this quote used to be my destiny, as I was working through the early stages of my career, I had a dream of working in the music industry, for example, and just when I was, coming out of my initial studies, that whole industry collapsed. But eventually it turned into my mantra, and it has, really helped me to always strive to do new things. And I think that has been part of the path for me to spend some time in India and to really learn the in and outs of the startup ecosystem in India. Coming to the topic in itself, so what I would like to start with is to digest a little bit the word digitization, because in itself, and I understand not everybody is from the digital world here in this call. Today we're talking about many different topics as they pertain to economic relations between India and Germany. So for those who are not, for who this is not their daily topic, I just allow me a bit of time to explain what it is with this word, because I think digitization may not be the right word for us to dig into this today. Digitization is really the very base of creating digital representation of physical objects and attributes, while what we are striving for is a process through digitalization and ultimately digital transformation, which is where we want our Mittelstand, small, medium businesses, and large corporates to get to. The startups we work with are generally digital natives, so they're very familiar with working with new business models and business processes based on digital technologies. Now, what's the actual state of digital transformation in Germany and also Europe? I must say it doesn't really look that good. We've been actually lagging behind in an international comparison, and SAP, as you see here, is the only one from Europe that is really standing out. And if we look at Germany, the numbers unfortunately doesn't really look much different. And while these numbers are from 2018 and some good progress has been done here, we're definitely not the leaders when it comes to digital products within Germany, but also in the way we export them. So we are generally lagging behind in exporting digital products to the world. And I understand my work as well in the way that we have to change that. And so as a basic assessment, I would say, and some of you may be familiar with this analogy of the butterfly, that we have a lot of really fast caterpillars, but not many butterflies yet. But then came the pandemic, and that may have been the day when the risk to remain the same was greater than the risk to change. And just to underline what I just shared, this graphic really shows us where Germany was just a couple of months ago. But the positive news of this slide is that when Germany ever puts their mind onto something and they really want to move, there is actually a lot of possibility and opportunity. So you see here that Germany was the one that, you know, overcame a gap significantly over the past couple of months and has almost caught up with all the other countries that are mentioned here. So I think this is a hopeful sign. And if we keep going at this pace, I'm sure we can reach the excellence that we generally are known for. And just to give you an example, also while transferring a little bit to the way we look at the relationships between Germany and India, I would like to highlight one example from Siemens Healthineers. You may remember just not even 4 weeks ago, there was a major announcement by Siemens. Siemens Healthineers invests in the growth market India and drives digitalization of healthcare by setting up an innovation hub in Bangalore. And I find this statement particularly interesting for many, many reasons. The way the language is used here in this statement, and I will read it out for you just to highlight a little bit what is important here and how strategically has Siemens decided to ultimately not just produce from India for the world, but also for India from India. This investment is the largest we have ever made in India. It will play a key role in taking our business to the next level by driving digitalization and expanding our portfolio for emerging markets. So you see here, there is a very bold language generally, but also there is an idea and a strategic decision to create products in India, not just for India, but for the whole of emerging markets and the role that can India play in that spectrum. The Innovation Hub in Bangalore will demonstrate our commitment to advance healthcare through cutting-edge digital technologies, as well as through accessible and affordable innovations driven from India. The two words that I would like to highlight here, and that any German company that looks at India should really keep in mind, is accessibility and affordability. Is your product able to provide a service to more people than what current solutions can? And also, is it affordable to the people of India when we look at innovations that have a need and also should be successful in the country? There were a couple of other announcements over the last couple of months, majorly from the US by companies like Facebook and Google, which shows that there is a heightened interest in the digital space in the Indian market. But even German companies are not lagging behind. A couple of other companies that are really putting themselves to the forefront with digital as agendas include obviously SAP. We've seen this before, and they have a very strong presence that is very felt in India. But also Schaeffler, Bosch, and Siemens operate very strongly in the area of Industry 4.0, which has seen tremendous uptick since the pandemic hit specifically. I was always a little shy on attracting startups in that space for India, but I was just talking to the Indo-German Chamber of Commerce in Mumbai yesterday, and they said, no, we are really seeing some major shifts here and interest of the market to adopt these types of technologies. So my conclusion here would be, in terms of opportunities for anything between startups and large corporates, would be the areas of Industry 4.0, enterprise tech, healthcare, obviously, and logistics has been also really hard hit, and people are looking for solutions, and obviously often with some overlap into Industry 4.0. And it kind of builds on the strengths of Germany, really, these kind of areas. And in the last stretch of my presentation, I want to jump a little bit into the actual work that we have with the German Accelerator and our Next Step India program, and showcase how we approach the topic. As I said before, we're talking about the digital natives here. For them, they build business model from the beginning with digital technologies at their core. And as a program team from the very early days, and that was before the pandemic, we looked at or we focused on sectors that Germany is traditionally very strong in, and where a technological benefit is a core USP, because German innovators will probably not compete on price or context in India, and therefore need some flexibility to adopt their models to the Indian context and local circumstances. What we spend significant time on during the program is to build a Desi business model, like an Indian business model, with all our participants, based on a process of experiential learning through sessions on business and culture, discussions with local accomplished mentors, local potential clients, and subject matter experts. We've chosen health tech and life sciences, logistics and mobility, enterprise tech and Industry 4.0, as well as sustainability and agri-tech as our focus sectors. And we've seen really good traction with this in our very first year this year, from the German startups that are keen to look at India as a market. And I will pick out, in the interest of time, I've picked out 2 startups that we had in our program this year for you to get a glimpse of how do they look like and what is special about them, and that we think as a program team, they are the right ones to look at India. Because India, obviously, for young companies, it's a very daring market. So we want to make sure that we improve their chances to succeed. So Canostics is one of those companies that has embarked on this exploration and market entry jointly with us. Canostic aims to beat cancer simply by diagnosing it so early that it can be already cured today. So this is a very innovative solution that uses AI and analyzes the blood to detect cancer super early, which would make a huge difference to millions of Indians. The interesting thing here is not just the moment when the cancer can be detected, but it is also the price point of this test that makes it so applicable for India. And I'm really happy to share that there's already medical trials underway in India at this moment in time. My second choice fell on Double, which is an AI autonomous building management system with the ability to self-manage building control systems more efficiently than any human. Dabble reduces energy and operational costs and simultaneously increase the wellness and productivity of tenants by ensuring a healthy environment. So we've seen quite some interest from sustainability and e-mobility startups and many more in that spectrum. And what we felt was really important, apart from the ecological impact that they have, reducing CO2 emissions, for example, what really works with Indian clients on the other side is to show significant savings on cost, operational cost. And as soon as you can combine these two aspects, there's a huge interest to implement sustainability solutions. And last but not least, just to conclude for today, I would like to summarize some 5 things that we learned in working with the startups over the past year. It is really important to spend time understanding your customer. Customer needs to come first, and European clients are so fundamentally different from Indian clients that, you know, everyone needs to spend a good amount of time understanding the differences. Where we see German companies succeed is if they provide a superior technology and value proposition while saving time and money for their clients. We need to meet local pricing expectations, and we do evaluate through the program and the conversations we have with market players a variety of options that include local production, volume at which is being sold, or a leaner functionality for the market as potential options to bring pricing down where required. Spend time building relationships. I think this is a evergreen. It is immensely important in India to really spend time with the people you're trying to do business with. And last but not least, localize, localize, localize. We can't emphasize this enough, how important it is to adopt to the market. And we highly suggest to take help. We've seen a couple of these organizations previously. We are here, and there's so many more. We mentioned GINSEP, Indo-German Chamber of Commerce, the likes of FICCI, etc. They're all here to help. All of us offer programs that are targeted at specific, you know, startups, small and medium businesses, large corporates, Mittelstand. There's so many initiatives today. Please make use of it. It makes things so much more easy. Thanks a lot. If you want to know more about me and the organization of the German Accelerator, please reach out to me through my email. Thanks a lot for giving your time to me today.
Thank you, Juliane. Thank you so much for sharing the growth of digitalization in Germany pre-COVID and post-COVID times. That is truly fascinating, and I do agree with you that if Germany sets its eye to achieve something, in all likelihood they are going to do it in a very efficient manner. So yeah. I do agree with you. And since we don't have a lot of time, I would just like to ask your permission to, take to steal your quote about growth and comfort can't coexist. Can I quote this